What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. Welcome to another brand new league race on my channel. Welcome to Race Spec F1 Esports. Now, again, this is another league on the PS4, and I know what you're thinking. No, I'm not making a permanent move over to the PS4 side anytime soon. I literally, what's the best way of putting this? So, Race Spec, I've been sort of keeping my eye on this series for a little bit, and I've been also watching some of the YouTube videos on their YouTube channel, which of course I'll leave a link down in the description below, but sort of been keeping an eye on this series, and I thought, you know what, may as well try something a little bit different as well, and test myself against like the best of the PS4 side on the Pacific side. So there's the full list of all the drivers there. You can see I'm obviously driving in the Williams with Todster 99. But if you're well familiar with the PS4 side, you probably will familiarise yourself with quite a few of these guys, especially if AOR mainly. Obviously, you've got Pete Crichton, you got Plebs, 40, Crossy, probably Revolution, who I was talking to, Dre, Spilly, Contrast, Aaron L304, who I used to race with, which I'll probably mention maybe a little bit later in this video here. But yeah, I thought, you know what, I did buy a wheelbase that was sort of, and obviously a racing wheel, so I could sort of accommodate playing on the PS4 side of things. But yeah, this is something obviously live. So this is obviously Race Spec F1 Esports. This is the Pacific Series. On obviously I'm in the Tier 1 side of things, obviously, but the Pacific Series, they have various different of a series to Race Spec F1 Esports. It's also, I think they're also in there. Correct me. As I think probably Plebs is the one that runs this from memory. Correct me if I'm wrong, if Plebs, if you're watching this video back. But I think this is Season 2 overall. And yeah, Pacific Series is the league on Tuesday night. Now, obviously, they do have the PS4 league, which obviously I'm doing this one. There's like 2 tiers in the PS4 side. There's also, they do Xbox as well. And I think they've just gotten into the PC side of things. So if you're wanting to sign up for the Race Spec F1 Esports League, then I'll leave a link as well down below to their Twitter channel. I think there's probably a link to like a form there where you could sign up with the... It probably doesn't really matter like which league you... whatever, like, you know, whether it's like this league or another one that they've got going on a different night or something, you know, you can go check that out. And you also probably have to have Discord as well. If you don't have Discord, then you probably won't be communicating with them quite a bit. But basically, because I was sort of new to the whole Discord thing, but over time, I'm probably getting a little bit more used to this sort of thing. But anyway, first lap is in the books. It wasn't too bad of a lap, actually. It was a 20.674, which puts us P4 behind... Well, originally it was Pete Crichton, but now he's changed his gamer tag to his actual proper name, which is, his real name's obviously Zach Crichton, head of X Revolution and Swaggy, but obviously P4.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute 20.6.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. As always, as Jeff is always back again, even on the PS4 side. He doesn't sound any different.
Okay, let's go.
But, for some people who actually played on the PS4, some people are saying that Jeff sounds a little bit different. Well, for me, pretty much sounds the same, really, that he does on Xbox. So, I mean, nothing new there. But obviously, we're P4 at the moment. My teammate is in P7, I think, from what we saw on the previous screen there. But it was also great to see as well. This is actually a full grid as well. They're not necessarily... there's obviously a variety of assist users as well. So, I think... There's probably a few guys that use Racing Line, maybe some people that don't use anything at all, no assist at all. Probably there's a couple that have the odd assist as well, so which is fine. I have no issues about that one. So, but yeah, like I said, just wanted to test myself here against the best of the PS4 side and the well, Pacific side, or Oceania, whatever you want to call it, basically. But anyway, this is our second lap here. I'm just going to show you all 3 of my runs here because they're actually pretty decent, and I also put in a heck of a lot of practice here into this first event.
2 laps
also that, and obviously ARL was a little bit of practice for this one as well. But go purple through this middle sector there, so got some real pace here. So I actually didn't think when the obviously did the ARL race that the pace would sort of carry on a little bit here. It's yeah, truly testing myself here against sort of like the big boys of the PS4 side. But anyway, coming through the final corner here now. But coming through the last corner, we missed the apex quite a bit. A lot of understeer through there. I'm not exactly sure why that was. Probably just missed the apex, like I mentioned. But still another lap puts us back up into position 4, which is, what was it, a 1 minute 20.3. So,
okay, we can take you this lap.
You know, overall, not too bad a lap here. But I could just maybe sense a little bit here as we just get out of the way of cars that are on the laps here. I think that's Banana Cake Pie. Nice gamer tag, by the way. That's a pretty decent gamer tag, I've got to say. And also get out of the way of a couple of other guys there. I think The Rock, who you probably well know from my ARL league as well. Plus, I think that Renault was curving Texas, who I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was the Tier 2 Pacific Series champion in Season 1. So I think he's made the upgrade into the Tier 1 for Season 2. But anyway, we're back into the pit lane after another lap is done here. And obviously, and also another set of soft tyres are taking literally every single bit of fuel now. But we've dropped back now to P6.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1:20.3.
X Revolution is the first one actually into the 1 minute 19s actually, and a couple of other guys. I think Spilly is up there as well. I think, who was the other one I'm trying to think of? It might have been Aaron actually that actually jumped up into position 3 behind his. Well, actually Aaron is a reserve for the first couple of rounds especially, but I think there's sort of like a yeah, when the sort of the week break comes along, they sort of like, if there's not been a lot of the people that had attended races, a lot that they sort of move themselves around a little bit with reserves that actually do turn up for a little bit. Now, this was actually a little bit of a moment here because obviously if you watch the ARL race, I did thankfully rectify my issues, but there was a little bit of, what's the wording? There was a bit of static noise as well when it was coming through the PS4 control. That was part of the reason as well why there was no game sound originally with the other video, but I did find out as well that I had to actually, because my controller was usually plugged in so it actually charges, and that's pretty much what I do on the Xbox, but no issues. But I basically had to unplug for the controller part for like charges the battery a little bit, and it actually made it actually clear a noise coming through when I was sort of pre-testing this before I did it for this race, obviously. So in sort of a way, put it briefly, I've sort of gone back to the old previous way that when I started with league racing, like, so you don't lose sort of your sound volume a little bit. Had to go back to the old version where you basically have to take your controller off the battery mode and you just touch it every now and then, whether it's for looking the rearward or something. Every now and again, just so it keeps it going here. But that was fine. I had no issues with that. But this is actually my fastest lap of the quality session. Literally giving my absolute all here. And this, to be fair, the Williams car is actually not too bad on this game. And I was sort of keen on giving this Williams car an actual drive on F1 2019, whether it would be somewhere in the league, I don't actually know. But X Revolution's just improved his lap time there. But we make a heck of a lot of better turn through the final corner there. We come across the line, jump into P5 actually. They 1 minute, did I actually record that? I don't think I actually did in my notes there. So that's my bad there. You would have seen it all anyway. But there wasn't actually too many guys that actually improved in the end. So, but we're going to stop that for a second here. I'm just going to let you... I'm just going to shut up for a bit and just let you enjoy a lap with X Revolution around Australia. Enjoy. There you go. There's a lap around Albert Park here, and that was the fastest lap overall. 19.738 X Revolution. Which I think he was, correct me, he was a previous line user, but he's turned it off for this round, but he was absolutely gold. But he's only about nearly 2/10 ahead of Zach Crichton there in second. P5, not too bad on debut. Oh, on the debut in Race Spec F1 Esports on the PS4 there, but also my teammate Totster in position 10. Not bad, too bad overall here, but...
Okay, the first lap is always a bit hectic. Make sure you give other cars a lot of room. We don't want any problems.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. So, welcome to the grid, guys and girls, for the first time in Race Spec F1 Esports, under pretty dry skies here. Now, strategy-wise here, like I said, I probably said in the ARL video as well, I rarely have done a lot of league races around Australia, so pretty much I've got absolute no clue here about the race strategy around here as we get set off for the formation lap.
Okay, go through all the gears if you can. We need to make sure the engagement is okay before the start. We're going to want to put some temperature into the tyres and brakes. We need to keep the engine cool though, so don't go too high with the revs.
Thank you, Jeff. But yeah, like I said, they hadn't done a lot of league races around Australia, so I wasn't sure about the dry strategy. Obviously, if you saw the ARL race, I'm saying the other league as well, I do apologise about that one, but just sort of using that as a little bit of banker for this one here. But yeah, like I said, I haven't done any league races like in the dry, so I wasn't sure whether, because I think last season on F1 2018, well, on F1 2018 overall, I think the strategy was mainly like softs to hards from memory, but I think in this season you can do softs to mediums, but we're going to give it a shot here, but if it doesn't work out, well, you say we give it our absolute best here, but we are lining up the grid for the first time.
Keep an eye on the lights. The start sequence will begin as soon as the grid has formed. Be ready with the clutch.
The X Revolution on pole, Zach Crichton alongside him, and he got 40, and he got Aaron pretty much alongside me, who, like I said, I have raced before on Xbox, but this is the first time I've raced him on the PS4. But I think we're almost ready to go here once all the ticks come up there. There we go. So here we go. We're all set for round 1 of Season 2, 5 red lights. Let's do it around Albert Park, and it's decent-ish getaway here. Probably not compared to Aaron, who's literally looking every which way go down into turn 1. Spilly goes up the inside. A little bit of a squeeze there from Zeffy. Pushes us a little bit wide there, but puts us off our momentum here. Now I think we're going side by side here with Swaggy, ex-J Schmidt there in the other racing point, looking racy as well. He's just sneak up alongside Swaggy there, going side by side here. He's got a little bit of a squeeze there. It's not all too bad. And I think J Schmidt behind possibly may have ghosted through me a little bit there, so that was pretty lucky there. As Swaggy and Zeffy going side by side. Now they're ghosting through each other here. There's a little bit of contact there, and then Swaggy sort of comes and cuts across us a little bit there, which, to be fair, I wasn't overly overjoyed about that one, but anyway, we got away with it. No front wing damage, so that's the positive out of that one. But anyway, now we're literally just sticking in behind these guys. Swaggy possibly looking for a move around Zeffy, but no can do there. So there's a car spin off the road there. That's Spilly. That's gone for a spin at turn 12, at the exit of turn 12. So that's the first casualty sort of thing of, well, first casualty, I won't say because he didn't DNF out of the race. He actually had a spin. It was only a spin, and I don't think any front wing damage there. But
now for the rest of the race.
They're now back up into position 7. Obviously, dropping a couple of spots off the start, but overall, sort of not too bad. We survived the first lap here as I think Zeffy got a little bit wide there. I think someone's actually had a bit of a spin in the background there. And if you have a look at the mini-map very closely, I think you'll find it's actually my teammates at a moment there. So I think we'll grab a few replays from some other cars in a second, and you'll be able to see what happened here. But look like it has some decent pace here compared to Swaggy, but no can do anyway. Not really close enough through there. But anyway, just sort of again sticking behind these two here. Thinking about it for a move up the inside here in the turn, but no can do. There's another yellow flag, and now 40's now gone around. So that was the man in, I think, second or third. It might have been second place at the time. So here's another one that spun coming out of turns 9 and 10, I think it was. We might have to grab another replay of that one as well, as we pick up our first track limits warning there. But Swaggy started to pull away a little bit as well, but now we've obviously been elevated back up into P6. But obviously, it is confirmed now that it was my teammate that spun around at the final corner. It's rare place you spin at here in Australia. Well, I thought it was.
46.6
Well, I thought it was at the time, but obviously not. So anyway, but right on the back here of Swaggy here. But you see with both DRSs here, actually, I've got a bit more straight line speed by the looks of it compared to Swaggy. Like, even with his DRS open, straight line speed wasn't too bad. We're sort of like getting stuck a little bit behind Zeffy here, and it's allowing the other guys to slowly catch up. Well, no, it's not slowly catch up. Slowly get away, I should be saying. But again, getting a little bit closer this way. Had a think about it on the inside of the turn 13, but no, not quite close enough there. So literally just settling into a rhythm again. And onto lap 5 we go here, as I think something's happening here. Zach Crichton's sort of something happening here. He's very lazy towers out of the Grand Prix. Not sure exactly what's happened to him, but we might see in a little bit second with a few replays. But yeah, catching up a little bit here to Zach Crichton, who doesn't seem to be quite quick at this stage. So I don't know exactly what's going on here. And Zeffy goes up the inside, gives him a little squeeze actually. So that gives Swaggy himself a bit of momentum there. He's actually going wide, so he's dropped a couple of spots from 3rd to 6th there. So we've now jumped back up into P5, pretty much our starting spot here. But yeah, Zeffy has a moment there. Swaggy just takes full advantage of that coming around to the final couple of corners. We get a bit of exit oversteer there, and thankfully didn't spin the car. I don't think like my teammate did, but again, haven't seen the replays of it yet. But now Swaggy will probably try to pull away here, but now pretty much the goal here is to just try and get past Zeffy as quickly as we can, and hopefully keep in touch with Swaggy. Have a little look up the inside there of Zeffy, but again, not quite to there. But what I was going to say originally was with Zach Crichton, if many viewers will know on the PS4 side, he was formerly Pete Crichton, but I think he's actually, like I said, he's actually changed his gamer tag to his proper first name, which is Zach. Zeffy has a moment coming through turns 11 and 12, and that was
Nice work, that brings you up the place.
big. Thank you very much. I'll take that up around the outside into P4 we go now. So now we can go chase after Swaggy. But let's have a look at a few replays of the start here. So ball we go with Crossy, who's in a Ferrari for this season. Of course, his teammate is 40, who started a bit further up the road here. Where did curving? Is that curving Texas? I think that sort of came out of nowhere. I don't know where. I don't think he came from there. They really put Crossy off there a little bit, I think. Now he's been under attack from the other Renault, sort of in a Renault sandwich a little bit. Only a lap on, I know, but now trying to hang it around the outside, which will turn to the inside, and he gets that spot back. So he's basically back in his normal position of P11. He's on board with Plebs, so might get a better view here. I think here comes. You see curving Texas, his teammate behind him there. Oh my word! He goes for a big dive bomb there into turn 1. Sort of works out in the end. No damage done whatsoever, but that could have been a little bit ugly for curving Texas. So thankfully he got away with that one eventually. So and now Crossy gets back in as curving as Plebs. Have a look at the inside. Curving Texas runs wide, and I think you'll see the spot a little bit there to Plebs there. Now this is a bit of an angle here to what happened with Toddster. He gets the exit curve a little bit there. It's a little bit of an action what happened there with Crossy, but I think possibly Plebs might have the better angle here. Here we go on board with Plebs. So obviously gets on the exit curve, tries to straighten it there, but oh my word. Unfortunately for Toddster, it's not been the greatest, well, it looked alright to start with, but unfortunately didn't quite complete the first lap there, and eventually ended up back there. But he's on board with that sideshow prod. I probably will apologise if I overlap a little bit of their audio with both the Toro Rossos.
So the two teammates just took each other out, two Toro Rossos. That's fun.
They're double rebel background.
I did take his live stream off the YouTube channel. Side by side here with Ghost. Literally still side by side here with Ghost. Squeeze.
Jesus Christ, man.
Cheers. Sideshow.
No, he pushed me wide. What do you want me to do?
A little bit awkward there, but I think Ghost got away with it, and a bit awkward between both the Red Bull teammates. Obviously, the two Toro Rosso teammates probably had a bit different to say it to turn 1, but there goes Dr. Dre up the inside into turn 10 there, I think that is. He's on board with Banana Cake Pie.
Jesus Christ, man.
Cheers. Sideshow.
No, well, he pushed me wide. What do you want me to do?
Probably a good thing that he actually backed out of that one, I think, the banana cake pie. I did obviously take their live streams off the YouTube channel, so again, apologies if I overlap sort of their audio as well. So because these guys were again in a party chat. There goes Dr. Dre up the inside. Here comes The Rock trying to make his way back up the inside.
I'm already so far back.
You tell the difference is
Come on, Spilly.
a bit close there. This is sort of where Spilly rejoined after his little spin. Obviously, Sideshow's prods is going to try a little bit sideways for Spilly. It manages to hang on to it somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know what's going to. There's Todster
How do
round.
you manage that?
Green flag.
What's going to happen here in the turn one here? I do not know.
Fucking hell, Spilly. The fuck, man. Fuck's sake, he's fucking so dumb. Done that to me in multiple fucking races, man. So dumb.
There is a
Done that to
little.
me in multiple fucking races, man.
Oh, The Rock goes very wide onto the grass there, and banana cake ties.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay,
the
The
rock
Rock.
is a bit aggressive. Much. So back out of that.
Probably a good thing you did there for banana cake pie. Now he's on board with Zach Crichton, so okay, 40 gets spun around. Okay.
Flag.
So it was just a little window there for Zach Crichton, and unfortunately, it was just, I don't think it was just enough room in the end for he and to just get past Crossy, and not Crossy, 40 I should say. Unfortunately for Zach, he's got front wing damage, so that might explain why his pace has gone a little bit nowhere early on. But here's Crossy on lap 3, going up the inside of the other racing point of XJ Schmidt. As he goes side by side, it's going to hang it around the outside here. Somehow they make it work, and he gets the move done. Nice job there from Crossy there. Here's another view of it back on with Plebs in the other Renault, who's obviously got curving Texas right behind him here. But have a look at this, up the inside here. Normally you don't usually hang around the outside because the curves are deadly, but somehow these guys make it work, and Crossy gets up the inside. Probably gives a little bit of a touch there to Jay Schmidt, and Plebs takes full advantage of that one there. And don't know whether curving Texas goes through. It might have done actually, so gets
How
back
much
up.
extra revolutions already?
Back up to position 18 here with 40 looking for a move down the inside to turn 13. Runs a little bit wide.
To finish last.
And Sideshow takes back the full advantage of that one. So, yeah, I probably will point out any clips that I've got of Sideshow, they're possibly maybe a little bit of rage. So, and they're possibly maybe a bit of language. So if you don't like the offensive language, I do apologise. But it's out of my hands, unfortunately. That's the way Sideshow is. But anyway, there goes 40 back up the inside into turn 1. Pretty simple. And back up into 18th place for 40 there. All right, back we go now to Plebs. We look down the inside. Oh, there's a little bit of touch there at the back of Crossy. Thankfully, they both managed to get away with it. That could have been a little bit ugly between those two there. It's a bit later on in the lap. This is Crossy now trying to get past Zeffy here, who of course was struggling a little bit early on, it looked like, from my sort of point of view, or going a little bit weaving in and out there. Look up the inside into turn 1, not quite close enough, but Zeffy gets very wide on the exit curb, and there you go, that's the move done for Crossy, and I think you'll find Plebs will get the move done as well. Here it is again. So Zeffy runs just a little bit wide through turn 1 and 2 there. And then Plebs goes around the long way around here into turn 3. And I think he gets the move done even before the corner. So there you go. Plebs up into 6th place and Crossy up into 5th place. So these two are pretty much sticking to each other like glue here. Back we go to our point of view on lap 7 here. And you just saw then a little bit of a bit of taily there for Swaggy. And I could just sense probably he doesn't maybe quite have the pace, or either that or his tyres were really starting to die out here. Because it's not too far away, I don't think, from the pit window, especially if you want to do I assume the soft to medium runs. But if you probably got front wing damage earlier on, you probably would have to do the soft to hards. And I'll try and have a look up the inside here into turn 3. Not quite really close enough there for a move here, but you could probably maybe sense a little bit from the back end of Swaggy's car that it doesn't. Maybe his rear tyres are really starting to die out probably a lot more than probably what he expected, but doesn't get the greatest of runs. Obviously trying to break the slipstream from me, but I'm not having any of it. think about it down into turn 11, but pretty much it was lining up possibly for a move into turn 13 here. And now we've got the DRS, and Swaggy obviously does it because the top two are really starting to pull away here, which is still X-Revolution leading from Aaron, I think it is, in position 2. Obviously, they're filling in the Mercedes for the other, what's his name, Kazuki, I think it is, who unfortunately missed this round for Australia. But again, the back end looking very tailored there. We've got a nice run here with Swaggy. We should possibly get the move done here into turn 1, even with the DRS. Should make it pretty simple here. Hopefully get it nicely here through here into turn 1. Get a very taily out of here, this corner here. I do not know how I still managed to get that position, as I would have thought Swaggy would have probably done the crisscross there, but hey ho, we'll take it. We've now moved up onto the podium here in the Race Spec F1 Esports Pacific Series. Now pretty much just trying to pull away here from Swaggy behind here. And it's obviously keeping in touch there. But back we go again with Sideshow, who's got a fast-flying Zach Crichton right behind him here. And I don't think he'll be putting up much of a fight here. No, he won't be, just letting him go through into turn 1 there. Ooh, a little bit close there. Left rear with Zach, but they managed to get away with it. And Zach moves up into, I think, P14 that was. But anyway, cutting on to the end of lap 9 now. And yeah, tyres weren't too bad as race leaders actually come into the pit lane. So he's obviously going for a bit of an early sort of strategy here, getting onto the medium tyres pretty early. But, well, I thought it was early at this stage, but tyres, I mean, the rears was really starting to die out a little bit here, but didn't feel overly too bad. Oh, Swaggy getting a little bit sideways there. This is on board with Crossy, as he tried to make the move around the outside, but not really can do here. But I think Swaggy also came into the pit lane here because I think he knew his rears were probably dying at this point in time. So the end of lap 10 here, decided to stick it out for one more lap, have a little bit of a rear moment there. I don't know how I called that one, but
We're boxing this lap. Give us the best in lap you can.
Anyway, we've now taken the race lead, but obviously we still get to pit. Aaron's obviously come into the pit lane for his set of medium tyres, but it's pretty much myself and Plebs that are sticking it out here for one extra lap. Obviously, Plebs did start outside the top 10, so he will have a lot fresher tyres than compared to me. But I thought this was not a bad strategy call here, as here comes Crossing into the pit lane, so he's pretty much doing the same as what Aaron's doing. I think he's going to go into the medium compounded tyres. I think there's also a bit of a strategy play as well, because he's trying to do a bit of an undercut on me, just to see if he can probably get past me on the racetrack here. So we'll see where he feeds out here. There's quite a few guys. There's a couple of guys that are a bit on odd strategies. There goes Swaggy. So he'll probably slot in behind Swaggy here and yeah, back into, I can't remember what position that was, but here we go, back with a Sideshow. Zeffy's closing in here. Zeffy's on the hard compounded tyres. And up the inside to turn 1. Is he going to make the move stick? Yes, he does, and moves up into P12.
The driver, everyone.
There's a Sideshow.
Fucking shit.
Yeah, pretty angry is the Sideshow there at the moment there. But anyway, yeah, back to us. Obviously, this was the lap I was going to come into the pit stop, and felt like this was going to be probably the right, well, I thought at the time it was probably the right move, but obviously because of the fresher tyres a bit later on here. But I've got Plebs' point of view in the top right. We just managed to get it slowed down, but Plebs probably not the same, because he's got a 5-second time penalty behind me. I know, I mean, he was probably trying to gain a lot of time on me, but unfortunately just went, I think, a couple of Ks too much over the speed limit here, but onto the medium tyres. He managed to just keep ahead of Plebs. So that would have been a disaster had it not gone right, but here we come out of the pit lane. So Swaggy's already gone by, Dr. Dre goes by. Here comes Crossy out of the pit lane. It's going to be tight between us coming out of the pit exit. He goes round the outside. That was a ballsy move there from Crossy, but he's managed to do the undercut well. And he obviously jumps us into position 7, because there's a couple of guys I think they're still on the odd strategy. So pit stops probably haven't fully phased out here. Here's a replay here. Look at this, round the outside for Crossy. Not too bad at all. Give him credit, that was a fair, decent move around the outside there. But obviously I've got one lap fresher tyres compared to him as we pick up our first time penalty of the race. So that's definitely not ideal, especially won't be for later on. As, back we go with Slideshow. Let's see what happens here with Curving Texas.
No, and I'm already in 11th.
Fuck's sake, man. Can no cunt fucking make a clean fucking pass? Fuck's sake!
I'm just letting everyone go.
Yeah, again, a bit of an awkward moment there for Slideshow. Curving Texas didn't probably make the move, but anyway, well, I'll get away from that one because I don't want to get into trouble from Sideshow there. But anyway, this is Crossy making the move on Dr. Dre, and I knew I had to get past him straight away here. So we go up the inside of the turn one. Was a little bit of slight contact there, which again I'm very apologetic to Dr. Dre if I actually gave him front wing damage there, but we managed to get the move done, and the same we said for Plebs as well. You see there was a little bit of contact there with left rear and right front. But Dr. Dre, obviously, he's one of the ones on the odd strategy. He's gone from he's on the medium. Started on the medium tyres and probably would go to the softs a bit later on here. But a little bit of a sideways moment there for Crossy coming out of turn 10 there. Thankfully, managed to survive all that one. But anyway, back we go to Sideshow. He's got 40 all over him again. And I think 40 should make this move. Hopefully he pulls it up this time in turn 13.
Yeah, Slippy off the straight.
Yes, he does. Just a little bit of a glance there, but no harm done. Nothing to... I can't remember what position that was in the end, but you lot would have all seen it anyway. But anyway, still pushing on here. Still trying to close into the gap here with Cross in front here. Really getting close here. Coming through turns 11 and 12 here. Car felt really good actually through turns 11 and 12. Probably the first time I've said that. Right, we go to Banana Cake Pie. Pulls away.
Oh no!
My word, that was definitely a scary moment. I don't think Banana Cake Pie would have liked it at all had he made contact with XJ Schmidt there, but thankfully both those guys got away with it, and so I think I don't know whether Banana Cake Pie was a lap car or not, or was just trying to get out of the way of Jay Schmidt there, but that could have been awkward had they made contact there. But anyway, lap 15. You see both Crossy and I are starting to close in here on, I think that's Shumbo or Shumboy. Might be Shumbo 1, 2, 3 here in the Alfa Romeo. Now he's obviously another one that's doing the opposite strategy. He started on the medium tyres and going on probably to a set of soft tyres. Crossy looking all around here, trying to get a move done here. I thought this was a good opportunity here to maybe try and take advantage here while he's sort of being held up by, I won't say like an out of sync car per se, but he gets by Shumbo there. We do a nice crisscross there. I think he glanced the wall there, did Crossy. Somehow did get front wing damage, but we've sort of gone from left to right over here. Well, we're not going to make the move here around the outside of the turn 11. That's definitely not on here, but through here with the DRS, it probably might be still an option here. Got a lot of straight line speed, a little bit of lag as well, which didn't help my cause there, but anyway. Again, that probably has to do with me a little bit there anyway, but back we go with Sideshow.
This guy's going to make a clean pass. No, he's fucking not, cunt! Fuck's sake! Oh my god!
Yeah, Sideshow not overly happy. We might come back to him maybe when he's calmed down a little bit. But back we go to us on lap 16. Sorry, Sideshow. Well, I do like his Sideshow. But anyway, back we go. Lap 16. Really right all over the back here of Crossy. Possibly go for a look down here on the inside there, but Crossy actually puts the car in a fairly decent spot there, and managed to hold on for now. Get my words straight in a second here, but this is what was going on a little bit here behind us. So Pleb's trying to get past Shumbo. I think it's Shumbo here. Obviously got the DRS to Shumbo, but I don't think he's really going to make any issues. What's the word? No, have any issues there, just let him go.
They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 26.8. You're gaining by 1/10 a lap. They have a time penalty of 3.0.
And an update on Plebs.
Our gap behind is 1.1 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 4 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:26.4.
Okay, so that was probably a little bit worrying at this stage because obviously Crossy and I have got
the only clean overtake has been by 40 down the fucking straight, and I let Schmidt through.
1 3 second. I'll get back to that in a second. As we go back up on the sideshow. He's been under attack here from the Rock into turn 1.
So we have to admit that we're in their way.
No, but like that,
racing
you
for
could have
track
waited for the
position.
straight. Yeah, wait for the straight, man.
Covers down the inside here, down into turn 3.
Banana, he was quite
And
far
manages
back.
to hang on for the moment here with the
Good
Rock.
3 car lengths.
It's onto lap 17 here.
I want to see the movers.
Rock F1 makes the move, and I think it gets a little bit too close here.
Oh my god, Carl, what the fuck? What the fuck, Rock? You fucking muppet cunt! Oh my fucking god, you're a oh my god. Oh!
And it's just about to get a little bit worse now for Sideshow.
And I just got a 5-second penalty. Fuck this game!
Retire the car.
Be careful where you do retire, I don't know.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Really don't give a fuck, cunt.
Yeah, Sideshow overly not happy with the Rock, and then obviously getting a speeding penalty, so yeah, his race has really gone down the drain here. But back we go to us, lap 18. We're really starting to close in here on Crossy. Trying to put him off here, put him offline a little bit there through turn 1. He managed to do so. Didn't quite nail the run coming out of turn 2 there, but literally going to follow him down the, have a little look down the inside into turn 3, but not really quite close enough there. But I'll probably get back to what I was saying a little bit earlier in a second. Back we go with a Sideshow. It's
Yellow flag.
I think this is nearly a point where you can say a little bit of karma comes out here, because there's the Rock off to the left-hand side there. So he might be a little bit happy with that one, but I'm not entirely sure there. But again, closing in here on Crossy here. Doesn't get the greatest of runs through turn 12 there. Trying to have a look down here, but he places the car in a great spot yet again. Probably, maybe I was probably a little bit wasn't overly happy with that one, but when I look back at the footage now, I think it's overly fine anyway. But yeah, like I was saying, Crossy and I have 3 seconds worth of time penalties, like 1 each. Players behind has 0 time penalties, so it was basically a case of trying to get past Crossy as quick as I can, and maybe try and gap back to Crossy just to make sure I've got a gap behind to Plebs, because knowing what I've seen with Plebs, he's a pretty quick driver, and I think he usually keeps it clean most of the races in the case of time penalties. Have a little look again up the inside into turn 3, and again not quite close enough there. Right on, had a lot of curve through turn 4 there. Sort of put me off a little bit there when I say off a little bit. There's my teammates back into the pit lane, so his race has pretty much not been ideal, put it that way, for Toddster, or Toddy, I think he's well known as. But anyway, lap 20, we're about to start lap 20 here. There's a car in the pit lane here. I think it's one of the Toro Rossos from memory. We try again, trying to put Crossy off here through to turn 1. Trying to go right around the long way here, not quite enough this time around. And again, Crossy doing a fantastic job. This was great racing all around. I enjoyed this so much. But again, not really quite close enough here. So I just had to be a little bit patient here, because I knew I could get the move done on Crossy, but I just had to play the waiting game a little bit here. I know I've got 1 lap fresher tyres compared to Crossy. It's just a patient game here, and the opportunity would come. Anyway, onto the lap beginning, almost beginning lap 21 here. Is the yellow flag a little bit further in sector 2 there, I think it was. Not quite close enough this time here into turn 1 here, but I sort of had an idea as where Crossy actually ran X's there a little bit there, which, well, again, that probably has to do with my internet there, but yeah, didn't really help us there at all there. But anyway, back we go to Banana Cake Pie.
Probably still working.
Oh, so I just got spun and put into the wall.
By who?
By Zeffy.
Zeffy.
Yes, I'm committed to racing.
The Rock did to me down the fucking front straight like 2 laps ago. You saw
Probably
it?
would have seen there as well. There's the Rock,
Yeah,
so he's out of the Grand Prix.
Well, 61.
Same, I got exactly 61.
And
The Rock did
Banana
to me down
Cake
the fucking
Pie.
front straight like 2 laps ago. You saw it?
Stop to go. 1 stop
Yeah, if you go,
left.
I just got a speeding penalty as well, 61 speed.
Same, I got exactly 61 as well.
Yeah, it has, man. Let's see what Swaggy does on Aaron.
Yeah, watch my stream, save that fucking...
Surprisingly, Banana Cake Pie actually didn't get any front wing damage from that, which I'm a little bit surprised about actually, but it's great to see he and his teammate are sort of working together in the form of, well, the pit lane speeding penalties a little bit there, but yeah, sorry guys, but it's not been a great race for those guys, unfortunately. There's yellow flags ahead of us. It's because my teammate Toddster had actually retired from the Grand Prix. So I was looking to maybe trying to get the move done into turn 1, but obviously with that, had to abide by the yellow flags, because obviously if I passed Crossy on the yellow flags, it wouldn't get me lap. Well, I'd get there in a, what's it called, illegal overtake. So I had to play again, be the patient, because you can tell, really, this is probably the closest I've been to Crossy in this part of the race, especially, and sort of gapped a little bit with players behind, but again, I just knew I had to get past Zeffy. Not Zeffy, that was Zeffy set the fastest lap of the race. I'm all over the shop here. There's been a lot happening here, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me, but just trying to get the run here off here and literally put it up into full ERS mode here, because I knew this was probably going to be nearer the opportunity here through turns 11 and 12. Just takes one little mistake, and it could be an opportunity here. There it is, right on cue. Just ran a little bit wide to Crossy, so we're going to have to go around the long way around here. Brake as deep as we dare. Thankfully, didn't get a touch-up from behind there from Crossy, but we finally get past him and up into P5. So, yeah, what can I say about that? That was a great battle all around. I enjoyed that part of the race especially. Now's the time to pretty much try and pull away from Crossy. Obviously trying to break the slipstream a little bit there as well from Crossy, but I think we've now brought a bit of a gap to Crossy a little bit now, and I think we should be pretty much safe here. Possibly he has DRS as well, but thankfully we did have enough up the tank there, and we've now moved ourselves into P5. Next up is Zach Crichton, who I believe is still going on the medium compound tyres. We'll see in a second here. There's a replay back of the sideshow.
I think he's just chilling behind your side.
The leader, I think, coming behind.
I got a 5-second penalty for ignoring the blue flag. The car was so fucking far. Oh, fuck this game, man.
And again, sideshow
They're
not overly happy.
Mediums. Their tyres are 17 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 25.9. You're closing by 4/10 per lap. They have a time penalty of 6.0.
Yeah, just getting an update of what's going on with Zach Crichton, and he's been on those tyres for 17 odd laps, so obviously he sort of came in a little bit early. I think it was like lap 3 or 4 from memory, but yeah, he's taken those medium tyres for a very, very long time, and as you can see, it took a couple of laps to slowly but surely catch up to him here, and obviously Zach Crichton's probably one of the quicker guys on the PS4, and especially in the Pacific side of things. It's yeah, again, it's not really worked out. Possibly he was hoping for maybe a late race safety car here to maybe jump on a set of soft tyres here, but well, just trying his absolute best to take the medium tyres to the end. Go up the inside, a little bit of slight contact there. Hopefully it wasn't too much there, Zach. So anyway, we've moved now up into position 4 here, and next up is a bit further up the road here is Swaggy, who's effectively on the podium here. I think he's pretty close to Aaron there, but you see coming down the straight here, look at the gap we pulled away from Zach Crichton there. So yeah, his tyres are really dying off in the latter part of this race as we get another time penalty.
You've been awarded a time penalty for that last incident.
So that's definitely not going to help our cause now. So we've got 6 seconds worth of time penalties now this race, but I think what Zach said after the race, he was really trying to hopefully take the medium tyres to the end of the race, but yeah, it just didn't quite work out in the end. Like I said, maybe a late race safety car could have probably helped him a little bit there, or possibly even going on to the harder compounded tyres. I mean,
Nice move.
that's
Good
probably
job.
just me, but I mean, maybe good on Zach for having a go for trying to take the mediums to the end of the race. We nearly bottled it coming through turn 11.
They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 17 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:25.3. You're dropping back by around 2/10 each lap. They have a time penalty of 15.0.
That's what I was meant to say, exit of turn 12 I should say, but got an update there from Jeff about Swaggy in front. Now he's got 15 seconds worth of time penalties, I've only got 6.
This is your final lap of the race. race.
As we set off now for the final lap of the Grand Prix. Now, basically, this last part of this race was just giving it my absolute all here to get the gap down to as low as I could get it
There's
here.
only one lap of fuel remaining.
Because obviously penalties were going to play a bit of a factor here, and there's potential we could get a podium on our Race Spec F1 Esports debut as well. So, literally giving my absolute all. If you're keeping an eye on the top left, there's Jeff telling me to get back to mix 2 here, but we've got plenty of fuel up our sleeve here. We'll get an update.
The gap to the car behind is 3.5 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 18 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 25.3. They have a time penalty of 3.0. Okay, gap ahead is 5.8 seconds.
It was just an update on crossing there. That still had me a little bit worried as well, because I've obviously got 6 seconds worth of time penalties. He's only got 3, so it's got me a little bit worried that he might steal his podium away a little bit here. But X Revolution goes on to win the Grand Prix, so congrats to him. What a great race for him. He had from pole position to the race victory. We're going to come across the line in P4, but we do jump up into P3. Is there still going to be enough for a podium? I think it is. Yes, it is, because Crossy's just jumped up into P4 there, so it is a podium on our debut in the Race Spec F1 Esports Series, which, to be honest, I really was not expecting here. Swaggy must have had a heck of a lot of penalties, because he's dropped all the way back down to P6. And Zach Crichton, I think, will get the fastest lap because he came in late for a set of the soft compounder tyres here. As,
I love how you just correct.
This is a bit of interesting footage here, because this is banana cake pie, and of course ghosting is a thing because if you're a lap car, but he obviously got unlapped himself there from X Revolution there, but whether that was an ideal move or not, because he gets passed here by Zeffy for position 5th for 14th, so I don't know whether he's still like that one or not, whether he should have maybe got his lap back or not, whether he should have stayed behind and stayed ahead of Zeffy, but of course that would have been maybe different on penalties. But there's the podium of the first Race Spec F1 Esports Series. Like I said, I was not expecting a podium on my debut. Obviously, debut in first race on the PS4, which is ARL, obviously got a podium there. And the second race in Race Spec F1 Esports, again, I still don't know how I got a podium. That's incredible. But anyway, there's your final race results on your screen. So X Revolution takes the victory by, I think it was a fair margin in the end, to Aaron L3F4. Again, like I said, Aaron's a reserve, but possibility he may be a full-time driver later on in the season. But we finished in P3, ahead of Crossy in P4, Ples in P5. Swaggy had a lot of penalties, like I said, in 6th. Spilly did a good recovery job in 7th, ahead of Curving Texas, I should say. Zach Crichton and Ghost running out your top 10. And unfortunately, Todd Sturm, teammate, Dr. Dre, and Very Lazy Towel were the 3 DNFs. The Ghost was maybe one of the only ones that got a 0 penalties this whole race, so that's a great effort. So championship-wise, obviously, where we finished is what the championship looks like after round 1, so nothing big there. So, and of course, reserves do get classified, counted as onto the points table as well. But of course, I think how it works is whatever points they score, depends on whether they get elevated into a full-time driver or not, but you see what it is. So constructors-wise, we'll have a look at that one. McLaren have a 10-point advantage over Williams, over ourselves Williams, obviously. Renault 1 point behind, and you got Ferrari with 12 points, Alfa Romeo with 8, 6 points for Racing Point. Mercedes got 3 because of Zach Crichton getting the fastest lap of the race, and Haas getting 1 singular point. And obviously both Red Bull cars, Red Bull and Toro Rosso, so we get to score points. But yeah, there you go. That is the first race of the Race Spec F1 Esports Pacific Series. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more Race Spec F1 Esports content on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, like I said before, I'll leave the links to the Race Spec YouTube channel and their Twitter one. I think there's probably a link there if you want to go sign up for it. I think there's still plenty of spots available, whether it's on PS4, PC, or Xbox, and there's plenty of other leaks around no matter what day I think it is anyway. But yeah, until the next one, which will be the Bahrain Grand Prix. Oh boy, I'm looking forward to that one. Not really. It is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.